Managing a nation of 1.4 billion people requires an interlocking, perpetual sprawl of infrastructure that stretches across some of the densest megacities on Earth. In an environment of this magnitude, the conventional assumption is that crime must be expanding just as quickly as the city limits. But the historical records tell a different story. If we look back to 1953, the baseline for this data, we find that over the next 5 decades, the rate of burglary plummeted by nearly 80%. This line graph compares property crimes to the homicide rate. While burglaries vanished, homicides flatlined. We see a similar trend for traditional violent offenses like rape and dowry deaths, their prevalence moving into a steady decline as social interventions take hold. The physical violence that defined 20th century crime is fading, even as the population continues to reach new heights. However, this bar chart shows the total volume of all reported crimes. In 2023, while violence was dropping, total offenses hit over 6.2 million, a 7.2% jump in just 12 months. These records show the national crime rate hitting an absolute peak of over 448 cases per 100,000 citizens. If the streets are getting safer from physical violence, we have to ask what exactly is driving this record-breaking surge in reporting. Part of the answer lies in the sheer density of metropolitan life. Cities recently saw a 10% increase in crime, though the nature of these offenses is mutated. The modern urban profile is dominated by petty theft, accounting for nearly 45% of cases, followed by lifestyle offenses like rash driving and the obstruction of public ways. Premeditated violence has been largely replaced by the urban opportunist, trading the break-in for petty thefts and transit-related crimes. While physical crime moved to the streets, a much larger transformation was happening online. India's push for total internet access and the adoption of the Unified Payments Interface, or UPI, brought digital banking to nearly every smartphone in the country. This curve represents the true driver of the 2023 surge. In a single year, cybercrime shot up by 31%. When broken down into a pie chart, we see that 69% of these digital crimes are purely online fraud, scams, and phishing. These offenses are concentrated in the nation's tech hubs, with states like Telangana and Karnataka reporting the highest volume of digital incidents. The modern criminal organization is more likely to resemble a corporate fraud factory than a street gang, operating out of a computer terminal to target victims thousands of miles away. Despite this digital migration, the physical vulnerability of India's most marginalized communities has not been resolved by technology. Crimes against scheduled tribes saw a severe spike of nearly 29% recently, illustrating that the shift toward digital fraud hasn't slowed their physical targeting. Similarly, crimes against women, specifically domestic cruelty and kidnapping, remain a persistent physical threat that hasn't followed the downward trend of broader violent crime. Modernization has successfully digitized the tools of the criminal underworld, but it has yet to provide a shield for the country's most historically vulnerable populations. This creates a dangerous institutional lag. Officers trained and equipped with analog rifles for physical street threats are now facing an invisible, decentralized digital enemy. This chart shows the resulting bottleneck. Over 29% of cases are currently stuck in a state of investigative pendency, unable to move through a system designed for a different century. The failure to close these cases is rooted in a combination of localized corruption, staggering judicial backlogs, and a widespread lack of specialized cyber forensic training. The result is a justice system struggling to keep pace with a highly modernized, asymmetric threat. To address this, the National Crime Records Bureau established a policy roadmap designed to move the defense of the citizen directly into the digital infrastructure. The plan involves a massive expansion of digital forensic laboratories, anonymous reporting channels, and national analytics dashboards to track threats in real time. This must be accompanied by judicial reform, specifically the creation of fast-track courts dedicated to processing cybercrime cases before the evidence goes cold. These 2023 figures reveal a criminal underworld that adapted to the digital age far faster than the state mechanisms built to regulate it. Stopping them requires a transition where the digital reach of the police and the courts finally matches the speed and scale of the network itself.